let's start. This session is a big review about the ATL2, the second training in the layout. To start, all contents are available in the toolbox, layout toolbox. For this training, you have one notebook for the referent, one notebook for the referent, but it's a presentation media to follow and to project the training for learner, and one learner notebook. You can print it if you want. The notebook. Don't hesitate to stop me, to ask questions or add information if you have a lot of information about this topic. The first, very important to follow the code. I repeat, but it's very important to have the data. The code for this training is ST, store, layout, P1, presential, number 2. Okay? Oh, it's French. Oh, sorry. Yep, I switch with my English notebook. Tac. The objective guarantees the right implementation for the business-like and satisfy customer and sport user. The practical information, you have the code. A very important part, it's mandatory for the next 3 months after integration for all teammates, sales assistant and department manager. It's mandatory for these teammates, okay? The duration, it's 3.5 hours, okay? Very important to respect this duration. You have a prerequisite for referent and preparation timeline to help the referent to communicate this training. Expect results, very easy. Understand the implementation step and be able to use merchandising plan and to use the satisfied customer family for the right implementation. Okay? A very big news about this topic, about this training, sorry. The Second Life, I switch the modulo part, and I would like to integrate this very important topic for the company, the Second Life. I keep the topic around end of series, end of life. I don't know if it's end of life, discontinue product space, okay? The schedule, very easy. First, a reminder, a short reminder about fundamentals of layout. Second, a big topic around the implementation with different steps. Third, a very, very big part of this training around the merchandising plan and the SCF. Second Life topic, and end of life, discontinue. What is the right word used in your country? Is it discontinue, end of life, end of series?
We in Thailand
We
we
call
don't
it.
use.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
In Thailand, we no longer use end of life. We either go for clearance
Okay.
or last stock.
Okay. Last stock is good. Okay.
We call it end of collection.
End of collection. Okay. Don't hesitate to appropriate the right vocabulary according your country. Yeah? No worries. An introduction. The goal is introduce each learner. I propose this kind of presentation, but the referent can choose his own presentation. He can switch and change his part. The goal is start, present the goal of the objective of the training, and the present introduce each learner. First part, around the remainder. It's just a quick reminder around the layout, the fundamentals of the layout. I propose this method. Question 1, question 2. Question 1, what are the two keys? Sorry, I mistake. Layout basic at Decathlon. Keep a moment for each learner to reflect around to thinking about the answer. And the answer expected are easy store, traffic path, circulation, signage, implantation, verticalization, facing, and self-informed best choice. Okay. Question number 2, what are the 5 merchandising answers to each of these basic? The same method, keep time to learner to thinking about the right answer and collect the answer. Answers expected are I see, I read, I touch, I try, I take. Okay? It's just a method to introduce the layout, to verify the right, to check, sorry, to check the right knowledge about the layout. I propose to use the video. It's optional, but you can use the video to introduce the topic and to remind, to repeat and to conclude this part. Okay? Very easy. Do you have questions about this part? No?
Okay. Yes, all clear.
It's very clear, but it's very basic. Not change according the last version of ATL2. Part number 2, the implementation. The goal is understand implementation step. For this part, it's very important for the referent to prepare. To prepare, I propose I propose this method to cut each step, and it's very important to prepare this part to cut. If you have for example 8 learners, you can propose to work in pair. For this, you just need to cut, for example, 4 parts and to give 2 pairs. Okay. Up. Sorry. The preparation is very important. Okay. This part is a kind of workshop. The goal is to learner, to participants, the goal is to place in chronological order the right step for the implantation. A workshop, 5 minutes for this workshop, and 10 minutes for the referent to debrief and to explain in details what is the, for example, it's not the right link. I will correct this link after. Sorry for this. Where is it? I don't have in this part. It's very shame. It's yes. Sorry. You have explanation for the referent to help the referent to explain each step. First, the store commercial policy. What is it? To explain as a learner what is it? What is it? The store layout plan, the department commercial policy, the implementation logic, the department range choice, department sport layout plan, organization of seasonal move, the merchandising plan, the action to adapt layout to the business, and what is the satisfy customer family. Okay. All appendix are an help for the referent. The referent can be able to be able to explain each part. That's why it's very, very important to prepare the speech for each step. And at the end of this part, very important to show to show how to export. How to export the implementation logic from my offer. Take time to show my offer, to open my offer, and to show you can consult implementation logic with this button, and it's very important to show. Okay. Do you have question about this second part, around 10 steps of implementation? No? Okay. It's mandatory to follow. It's optional, but it's optional. But if you can check each learner has followed thanks a merchandising plan. It's an e-learning to introduce this topic and what is implementation logic. Existing 2 e-learnings. The part number 3, it's a big part. This is the longest part of the course, lasting 1 hour and 20 minutes. Different part in this part. First, the objective is discover. Use Merge 3D to show how to use Merge 3D, to practice with Merge 3D tool. To start before show Merge 3D, very important to explain the 4 kinds of product category. For that, very important for the referent to prepare another time to prepare with this appendix to cut each block and each name block. To give this part for each learner, and the goal is put in order each part. Andrea, you have a question?
No, sorry.
Okay. At this moment, it's the structure of the layout. With the Retail Lab strategy, it will be changed, but at the moment, it's the right guideline. The first price, very, very important for the company. The second price, the range core, and the high end. Very important to highlight according each part, each kind to present the product are very different for the customer. Okay, it's a game. Okay, very quickly game, only 5 minutes. The second part in the big part is pedagogical part about Merge 3D. First, explain the 3 levels of density. You have a video to help you. Sorry, it's just a video in French with a subtitle in English, but the referent can be able to explain the density Opti, Mini, Flex. I think it's very basic for the referent. Details all elements of the merchandising plan. Very important to show and demonstrate the 3D Merge tool and what are the different possibilities of view for this part. You have an help, a quickly video in English to help the referent, but I think the referent can be able to explain, huh? Because it's very, very basic. And a practice, very important to practice for the layout training on the field or not. Use Merge 3D. Each learner take time to use Merge 3D in the reality, in the context, to check the plan, to try to try each button. It's very important, the practice. And after that, a very, very big part is the SCF. No worry, it's the same method with the last SCF, just it's the right pedagogical part, but the tool is very different. For this part, a mixed between learner workshop and explanation of the referent. First, the referent explain what is the goal of the SCF and how to use. For that, very important you have an help, because it's very, very new tool. You have an help. I think you know this help to help the referent to explain different functionality of the SCF, the strategy of the top families, very important to explain the strategy, and continue with different part, different functionality of the SCF. Explain for each question you have a picture. You have the possibility to answer yes or no for all questions. And for several questions, you have possibility to ask not concerned, just for optional question. And explain the score, explain the why and the how, the pedagogical part. Up here, okay. And the methodology for this part, for the first part, 20 minutes, the referent explain each question, take time to explain why and how, okay? Second step, the work on the field. Each trainer or each pair of trainer choose a family. Preparation for the referent is very important, because I think it's interesting to work on family with a bad implementation. To highlight the fact SCF is very good to correct. That's why I advise preparation for the referent. I advise to select family of textile or shoes, because it's easier to work. Don't select a showroom part. It's not interesting for this pedagogical practice of SCF. Donc each pair choose a family and they work together, and they provide a check with a bad score, and they correct with action, and to reach a better level. Score more, you understand, better level. And at the end, the possibility to take picture before and after. It's interesting to be aware. My job is very, very good. Compare it before and after. And the debrief. Invite participants to measure performance of turnover. For that, you have a part in the referent presentation media. It's just a proposition. You can modify it, no worries. I propose a photo 1, after, before, with the performance of turnover. And it's very interesting to debrief this performance 4 weeks before, after, sorry. It's just a proposition to debrief the work about the SCF. About SCF video tutorial, I will update in April because I had a difficulty to register, to take time for the video, to correct the video. But in April, in the next month, it will be ready with a good, with the right functionality of the new tool. But the introduction about the SCF, what is the goal, what is the methodology, it's the same thing. You can continue to use it. Do you have a question about this part? Is it clear for you? It's not very new, just the application is a new functionality, but the methodology is the same. It's a proposition. You can modify the pedagogical methodology, no worries, because it's very, very important to talk about SCF. What is the goal, the objective for customers? It's a tool to manage the layout, how to use, and what is the right result. Okay. In this part, very important to note when the SCF will be launched for all countries, not mandatory. It's forbidden. It's forbidden to use SCF with the link in Cubinstore. Just use SCF with the application. Okay. If you don't have any question, I continue with very, very important part and very new part. It's the right moment to ask question. Don't hesitate because it's very new and I don't have in my mind the level of each country, the level of information, the level of application. I don't have. For this part, I worked with Elodie Delbecq. Elodie Delbecq is the United leader of the Second Life. She is in charge to provide rules to implantation, material to implant, etc. It's her guideline. If you have question, it's the right moment. Okay? About Second Life topic. Introduction is very, very important for all countries because it's important to understand the strategy of the company and the stake. It's a big stake about for the customers. About the introduction, do not deliver the Second Life or the buyback training. Is it clear for you, the buyback?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
To take product, okay, and to resale. Okay. Okay. For that, I propose appendices to introduce the topic, to help the referent to introduce the topic. First, the Second Life introduction, the context. Alors, sorry. So context is just in French people. I don't have a united context, but it's important to talk about customers 67% of customers, not French. It can change. I don't know if it's the right data, but you can imagine it's a common data. Decathlon goal to engage and encourage our customers to use our services associated with the circular economy, okay, in order to boost our sustainable revenues. Two strategic, buyback and resale, okay, as Trocathlon in the past. Do you know Trocathlon? You don't know Trocathlon? Ah, you know. I don't know if it was okay. I don't know if it was a French event. Okay, you know. Good. These appendix are very important for the reference. I introduce with the presentation media. Okay. Donc, the context, okay, first appendix. Second appendix, the recovery path to explain. And the resale path to explain with the customer return. You have a customer return. Perhaps it's a basic customer return. Perhaps it's a rental customer return. I don't know if you have if the rental is very developed, is very used in your country, or it's perhaps store return with defective product. You declare the product in current store, generate one stock, one more, okay, and two possibilities. First, in-store resale. The product will be implanted in the layout, or donation for association, or I don't know. Okay. It's the same. Okay, the product pass. And, sorry, tac. Introduction, it's very easy, but new for countries. You can ask a question, what is Second Life in Decathlon, to introduce and after explain. And the second step, how to implant. Two kind to implant. Two kind of implantation. But before explain implantation, very important to explain the use layout placement and the advantage for the customer. If you follow the guideline is implant in the layout, in the aisle, and not at the entrance. It's a united guideline. It's a big way. You can highlight the advantage for the customer. First, the customer can easily find their Second Life product. The customer can compare Second Life and a new product. The customer can add new accessory, complementarity sale. The aisle in the best place, the customer can find a seller in the right spot. Okay. And second, explain the difference of implantation between square meter and layout meter. For that, you have all guideline. For layout meter, the right implantation is the background craft for grid. not greed. Second Life overhead, the fronton in French. The leaflet price available on Come to You. Very important for the customer, the price. And you have a label price. It's for a big product. For example, Padel or I don't know, a big product. You can use it. A question, Maya. Good.
Yep, I tried to formulate it first before to ask, but my question is that everything that you present now regarding the guidelines and the decisions that are taken on United level are totally not playing inside my country. So everything that you presented now is not doing inside my country. And my question is, who is basically supposed to be responsible for integrating the new concept of how we are playing with the Second Life? Is it SD leader who is responsible for everything that consists Second Life as well, or it's a referent of layout?
No, it's not a parent. It's not a referent of layout. I think it's not you. I don't. You're responsible to know what is the United guideline, and to play the United guideline is necessary to have a contact in your country. I don't know. I think it's very hard to follow guideline, but with the new strategy of the company, it's mandatory to follow. For this part, I can give you the contact of Elodie, but because Elodie is in charge to provide guideline and to follow the right implementation for the Second Life. It's not easy, because if your country don't follow this guideline, the contents of the ATL2 will be...
Yeah, I mean that in our country, there is a person who is responsible for everything that consists SD project. There is SD leader of the country, and Second Life is a part of SD. So now I didn't saw from her any presentations regarding the new concept and everything that you are presenting now. So for me, it's first time. That's why I'm asking, because on the country level, we were not presented that there are no new rules.
Right.
Yeah, I have a big guideline to present the rules. Don't hesitate to contact your leader about this topic. I don't know if you have a leader in your country about this topic. It's country SD. What is SD? Sorry.
Sustainable development.
SD.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a sustainable development leader, is responsible is in charge to follow the right guideline. I'm not a policewoman. And you can contact Elodie Delbecq. Elodie to share with her. Sorry, Delbecq. I check the right. Sorry, I check in my mail the right the right contact. Elodie Delbecq. Yes. I send you the name in the chat. Lynn, do you have a question or not about this topic?
Yes, I do. So in Thailand, we used to have a corner of the Second Life near to the cashier. So basically, I just want to ensure that that corner will have to remove and put it in the layout, correct? Okay. And then at the moment, we also have the clearance section that we have to place at the end of the family. So my next question is, which one do they have to go first? Is this either Second Life and then followed by clearance, or clearance kind of have to push far away from the second life, so the customer, doesn't go to the killing zone only at the end of the aisle. Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I understand. I think I understand your question. Don't hesitate to tell me if it's the right answer for you. Huh? Okay. The guideline, a second life and end of life, it's not the same topic. Second life, it's sustainable product. Okay. And end of life, it's just a product to
Suck it out.
Yeah, to select it out. It's not the same topic. For the implantation, two possibilities. You have a specific part with a space in your layout at the end of the family or at the end of the sport in the hail. You can plant the second life with this kind of presentation for the layout matter. If you have a lot of product, no worries. It's just easy to decide a little part in your hail. If you don't have, if you have just one product, I advise in this slide. If you have only one product, not necessary to implant in specific space, but you can put the product with new product in the layout. You can complete two kind of situation. You have the same product in the new, it's a new product, neuf en français, in French. It's a new product. And you can complete with a second life product, but it's the same product, but just new and second life. Or second situation, you can decide to put this product with other product. If you have just one product, it's possible. Very important to decide areas. What is the right areas according the customer purchase and return. The right, the good example is for a cycle, for bike. For bike, very, very important to have a square meter space in each stores. Very important. Okay.
Okay. Clear. And meaning that the second life have to remove from the corner, is this validate like now? They're supposed to implement it into the layout.
Can you repeat your question? Sorry.
In my country, there is no communication from the SD leader yet regarding of the layout of how to implant for the second life. So my question is there a specific time to implant the second life in the layout? Like the deadline, do they have that?
A specific time?
Yeah. Like, for example, 1st of April, everyone should have implant the second life. If you don't have the product more than let's say 10 items in that, then you don't have to implant, but you have to put in and have the tag for the second life. Because no one know about this. That's why I kind of like, I don't want to be the first one who said, hey, we have a new implantation for the layout, but then the leader doesn't know yet. So I just want to ensure that, above us, they have already communicate to each other.
You talk about a mass plan with the switch between the season. Yes. Very important to introduce this topic to decide to anticipate the implantation with a mass plan. If you don't anticipate the space in the mass plan, very difficult to decide the right space. No worries. I think I know it's a new topic, this implantation, and the corner, it's an old implantation. Now it's just in the layout. But if your country decide to not follow this guideline, you decide. It's your decision in your country. But you can adopt a transition. You can but if you choose a transition, it's very important to modify the ATL 2 to change the rules. It's not mandatory. I don't advise this, but it's your country, your country leader decide. It's
Okay.
responsible. Very important to anticipate this space, but you can't have one space for one sport. It's
Right.
not just decide priority space, bike space, fitness space for material in the showroom. It's easy, it's just a square meter. Mass plan, very important, sure. And decide to implant a little part in a mountain, for example. It depends the habit of the customer and the number of the return. If you don't have return, if you don't have a specific second life product, not necessary to implant. But in the majority of the situation, I think a bike showroom square meter, it's for all, it's common for all stores around the world. I think.
Got it. Everything is clear for me. Thanks.
Yeah, good. It's the goal of the session, to share and to ask questions. Okay, don't hesitate to provocate a point around this topic with your sustainable development, your leader of the sustainability of your country. Don't hesitate, and don't hesitate to contact Elodie Delbecq. Okay, it's your contact. Introduction, explanation around the right implantation. For the right implantation, the second kind to implant is a square meter. For square meter, specificity for the bike, kids bike are implant in the layout, not in the square meter. It's a little specificity. I don't know why. Perhaps to propose an offer kid more easier for the customer. Around the second square meter, it's just for showroom, adult bike or fitness material, apparel. You have all material to implant, to have the right implantation. It's very easy to implant. Just important to decide a space in the mass plan. Okay. Excuse me. To continue, Maya.
Sorry, I will come back to the question that was already highlighted, but again, because you repeated, I will ask. So to make it possible, it means to include in the process of the building of mass plan and floor plans exactly for the departments, that we will include that. But my question is if the mass plan and floor plan and everything is already done and the movement is already in process, and I have departments, for example, because I know regarding my store that there is no centimeter empty that would be used, the question is, do we have any extra decisions or how we can play? Because I'm sure that I will have a lot of stores that don't have extra space that could be used, and also regarding the bikes as well.
Okay. First, I have the answer. For priority sport, bikes and fitness, right, second life, existing a specific space in the implantation logic. If you check in the implantation logics, existing a specific place. Okay, it's the right place to put the second life for bike for fitness. In the mass plan training, existing a mass plan training, the retail lab is in charge to translate the new training of the mass plan for the mass plan for store leader. We don't we continue to talk about second life space. Don't forget to decide, to anticipate this right space in your mass plan. Is it clear for you, existing implantation logics?
It's clear for the preparation. So but for example, in my country, there are only 2 seasons. And one of the season is short and one season is very big. So the season that we now, it's already, everything is done. Mass plans are done, floor plans are done. Everything is done without this second life implantation. So my question is now, if we are obligated to make it's now for this season, my question is, how can I ask other store leaders or CSL team to integrate place if they don't have it? And what tools I can give them that, okay, guys, if you don't have, you can this, like to have an options.
Yeah, it's not an. It depends the turnover of the second life product in your store. If you have a lot of seasonal product, a lot of second life product, where is the right place? Actually, what is the right method to implant in Israel, in your country? What is the right space? Actually, what is your method in your store if you have a second life?
You will be surprised. In our country, we have 10 stores and only 3 of them, they have second life. So all other stores are sending products that gonna be a second life to these 3 stores, and only they are presenting this type of products.
Okay. In France, for example, it's just a common implantation. We have a lot of products. That's why it's an obligation to implant, to dedicate specific space. I think just no worries. This part is very important because it's a strategy for the company. You can keep this part in RTL2, but it's very important for the next step. And actually, Maya, the goal is to know different rules, to keep these rules in the mind, to follow with the future mass plan, the next mass plan. If it's not easy to provocate a specific move for this topic. No, if you have a little space in your store, no, you can adopt this rule. If you don't have, no worries. For the future season, you anticipate this part. That's why it's very important to know the rules. And it's interesting this sharing with you, because I don't have an overview for of the practice in all countries. It's important for the store leader to know, to understand the context and the strategy of the second life, to anticipate in the mass plan for the future season. And actually, no worries, if you don't have space, you can continue to propose a second life, but not in a right guideline for the implantation. Okay? Is it clear? Okay. For the future mass plan, it will be very important to decide specific space, square meter, it's mandatory for fitness and bike. And layout meter, it's good for the strategy of each product, each sport. If you don't have return, no space. If you have a lot of return with a lot of product in Second Life, it's very important to dedicate a little space in the layout. Okay? Okay. Introduction, the rule for the implementation and the store floor tour. Provocate a tour in the store to show in this store you can you have a square meter space. What about this square meter? Is this the right implementation or no? And the layout meter, is it the right implementation or no? Just a tool. Very important, don't judge, but just make a point and make a tour around this topic in the store. You can debrief the topic. You have the link of the United guideline. Okay. It's a guide of Retail Lab. It's a Retail Lab guide. You can translate it in your own language if the English is hard for the teammate. And you have the link. And the last topic, the end of life. It's the same part as the old road book. 25 minutes around this topic. What is the root causes for the end of life? How to identify them. You have a video to support the referent, but it's the same things as implementation logic. It's basic topic. All referents can be able to show the discontinue tool. And on the floor, first step, the referent show an example. What is the right method to implant? What is the rules? Overhead, red bar, red tag, red tag, sorry. And the right material to implant the end of life with a price. The price is very, very important. For that, interesting to show what is the methodology to use MobiPrint to put the price on the tag. And second step, during 10 minutes, each learner rework end of life part and the debrief of this part. It's mandatory to have done, it's an advice to have done managing end of life, this e-learning. It's just 10 minutes. It's very easy and it's interesting because it's an autonomous learning. And at the end of this training, the conclusion with a commitment, and it's the end. I show, we have the time, and I can show the referent presentation media. I think it's a good method for the referent to follow the training, to project with the computer the schedule, the goal, the objective of this training, the presentation, who are you, the reminder, 80% of the purchases are realized with the layout. What are the 2K layout basic at Decathlon? the 5 fundamentals of Quixor, the steps of the implantation, understand the sorry, the upselling, what is the offer, and put in order each part. The Merge 3D tool, the topic around SCF with the workshop, Second Life, what is the Second Life at Decathlon, the Second Life introduction with the buyback and the resale, the recovery path to the buyback, okay. The return to resale path, the goal, the objective for the company, and different kind to implant, layout meter, square meter, end of life, and the conclusion. The same thing with the roadbook for learner. A part to take note, part 1, to take note, self-informed best choice, note, implantation with different steps. What is the advantage for customers and for teammates? SCF with the photo 1, photo 2. Module. Yeah, you need to check. It's not the right. Sorry. And the end of life. I don't have the part. It's missing the part. Sorry, I just adapt this part after this meeting. It's missing Second Life part with in the learner roadbook. I change it. I will change it just after. Sorry, very sorry for this. Do you have any question? I cut the register, the recorder. Sorry.